Lined up on the track then for round 2, that's Darryn Hill of Australia and Alexei Zinoviev of Russia. The Russian is at the top end of the track. Hill has drawn the short straw and is at the bottom of the track and has to lead out for the first of the rounds. That's a standard way of doing things. Any disadvantage, Russell, for Hill at the bottom?
No, I mean, I've seen Hill race a lot, actually, and I mean, he's got a super jump, he's got plenty of strength, so I really can't see how the Russian can actually do much about it. You know, if he tries to slow the race down, that's going to play in the hands of Hill, and if he tries to go, you know, from the front, I think Hill's going to sit on it. Actually, looking at the Australian, I just turned down a trip, actually, to Australia for 8 weeks it was. I thought it was a bit too long to be away from my home track, Herne Hill.
Well, I suppose now there's going to be a queue a mile long of people who like to go in your place. What are we going to do over there, Russell?
Well, there was going to be there's sort of races every week, actually, on the track, you know, from Adelaide all around, and lucky enough I got an invitation to ride.
Will that take you over the Christmas? Is that the way they have?
No, it would actually start beginning of November, go through to middle of December.
Ah.
But
because across this Christmas period, when I was in Australia, they had a special lot of what I call carnival racing, and some of it was on very odd tracks. In fact, I think some was on grass as well, and the betting that went on and the prize money at stake was just something else. It was just a short period across the Christmas period, because it's the middle of their summer then, and that's when a lot of trackies would go across here and earn quite a few bob. Or dollars they are in the Australians' case.
So we have Darryn Hill on the front. See, the whole time the sprinters have got to look and look and look, and the Russian, he's right a little bit too close, actually, you know. Doesn't give himself a chance if he decides to jump, you know.
The other thing too as well that they have to be very careful of, we've seen it with the ladies going around this track, although I mean that if you go a bit too slowly on the steep banking here, the surface is still a bit on the shiny side and they've been sliding down the track, so any standstills have got to take place in the flatter part of the course. But I think somehow with Darryn Hill being a very, very quick man indeed, he'll like to ride this one. He could also do it off the front then. The kilometre silver medalist way back in 1992 and last year in the Sprint Championship of the World. Hill it was that finished in second spot behind Martin Osteen. He's the second fastest qualifying. There he goes.
So Darryn Hill trying to slow it down. He's keeping it nice and easy. Look at the whole time. He's just looking now. He looks under his arms. Looking again, starting to pick it up. Going to sit down, accelerate. The Russian's got to get close and make a move now if he can. It looks like Darryn Hill's got it in the bag here. Look at that. The Russian's struggling to hold the wheel. There we go. Just sat up at the end. Nice, easy win there for Darryn Hill. 10.7. A lot left, I think, there.
Well, the time's much slower than the qualifying 200 metres, but that is of no great consequence. They have got to win this one. In fact, he eased back a bit towards the end, didn't he, Hill? He nearly lost that one. That's a bit overconfident.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, look at that. I mean, he could have lost it. I mean, I don't know what he was, but he definitely eased up in the home straight thinking he's got it.
It just shows you that, I think it's again, and you're a great coach, but I've always said to anybody in racing, we've seen it on road racing. I remember the one year when Buño flung his arms up in the finishing sprint up in the Tour of Flanders, and Musea was in about half a wheel of him. We've seen so many people just say, I've got it, and up they go, and suddenly the bloke comes past them, and it nearly happened there.
Well, looking at that picture, I mean, I think the Russian might have actually got it. I don't...
Photo finish has been called. It looks so easy for Hill.
Mika Hamalainen, número 20.
Well, they will go through. It's not a sudden death job, this one, by the way. They do go through into second round, and if necessary, up to ride off in a third round too. Looking at these handlebars, by this is steel. The handlebar stem is steel, and despite the fact that so many other riders in the sport go for lightness all the way through, the way in which these trackmen have things, you know, their bicycles aren't really sort of handcrafted for superb lightness, are they? But for a different set of purposes.
Yeah, the whole idea of the bike, well, obviously with the sprinters is they've got to go for strength. They can't have anything too light that's going to... Remember, these boys are doing over 45 miles an hour in the sprint, so they need, you know, steel handlebars where it's nice and strong. But obviously, they can afford to have quite light frames.
In fact, the time of Kurt Harnett in qualifying those 200 metres in 9.865 was 72.985 kilometres per hour. That's going round a banking, by the way. He wasn't going a straight line. And 73 kilometres an hour, he was a sniff outside that, is 45.6 miles an hour. You imagine that, riding a bike round this track for 200 metres and covering it to 45.5 miles an hour. And you've got to steer the thing as well. It isn't like going down a straight sprint like you might get 100 metres on the track for the athletes. You've got to hold your bike in as well. Just give you some idea of the sheer trajectory of these sprinters when they get really moving.
So the finish rider on the front. It looks like he's carrying a bit extra weight around the middle there. I don't know. It looks like big, powerful arms, but it's just maybe it's a comparison with Darryn Hill there.
I'm trying to think, actually, Russell, how long it is since I've seen a Finnish rider getting into this particular level of competition. That they've not been best known for their sprinters in recent years at all. This fellow is, I would say portly, but he looks a very, very chunky sort of chap indeed. It's good to see him getting into the last 24, but he finished 22nd in the qualifying times, and the Australian Gary Neiwand finished in third spot with 9.935, and Gary is a very, very seasoned competitor indeed, world champion in 1993.
So we come around to the bell again, the Finns on the front, looking and looking and looking. Just waiting for Darryn Hill.
No, it's we moved on now to Gary Neiwand. You're still back with the other one. We've just done that one. They look the same, but that's certainly right. The man who was second in the Olympics in 1992 now coming over the top here should make this one easy. He's got to go somewhere easy. Oh yes, and on that occasion, coming over the top, he was able to control the finish rider further down below and come to across the line, whereas his teammate Hill against Zinoviev seemed to ease back a little bit, but no mistakes on that one. Very slow though, 11.541. So he wasn't stretched at all on that one.
No, the most important thing at the moment, obviously, is just to win your heat. That's why I was quite surprised about Darryn Hill. A good win there for Gary Neiwand. Shall we show the picture again?
We're going back again, and they've actually given it to Darryn Hill. Now confirmed that he was the victor there, but it was very, very close indeed. And in fact, once they had gone another few metres down, then certainly Zinoviev had gone ahead. That'll give Zinoviev some comfort in the next round, knowing that he can probably psychologically say to Hill, hey, don't take it too easy, Sunshine, I'll catch you out. Frederic Magne, now the new reigning world kilometre champion, he got that kilometre the other day with superb style. He just came past Michael Hubner and Frederic Magne, who thought they got first and second, absolutely stitched up. He came from nowhere to take the Kieran. A great tandem world champion with Frederic Magne now riding the sprint. Here he is, leading off against the Greek rider Hamalainen, who's drawn the longer of the two short straws and is in second spot. The rider just behind here, Cheimonetos of Greece, 10.352 in qualifying. Frederic Magne, despite the pressure of the Kieran, also qualified inside the previous 200-metre world record. His time was 9.978. Magne on the front.
Yeah, Frederic Magne was very impressive in that Kieran, because I honestly thought to the last 50 metres that Michael Hubner of Germany was going to win it, and all of a sudden Magne came off his wheel, passed him, and had time to put his hands up in the air for the big victory. So Frederic Magne from France on the front. The Greek riders really close up. So Magne decided to keep it nice and slow down on the bottom of the track on the blue. As I say that, he starts to turn up. Possibility of a track stand, but remember he's got to do one lap. He's got to pass the finishing line before they can actually do a standstill. Greek guys. Ooh, it's a bit of flicking going on. So Magne crosses the finishing line. Is there possibly a track stand? Yeah, straight away. Now remember, when he's doing this track stand here, it's a lot of pressure on the legs, and he's got to look at his opponent at the same time.
I thought you couldn't stop until you crossed the line, but presumably if the first man's going to cross, the second man can stop. Is that so?
Yeah, I think that's the UCI rules. As long as the front rider goes across the line, which Magne's done. Remember, this looks really easy, but it's really difficult.
And why do they do it?
Well, obviously Magne's trying to, he's obviously worried about the Greek guy. He should be worried about, all the riders, and he's trying to obviously get the rear position. Remember, the pain in your legs is a bit like someone hitting your legs with a mallet. It's really painful trying to, and he's got to think about the other rounds, if he qualified through. The idea is to go right through to the final and use as less effort as you possibly can.
But it's the difference in qualifying, what we see here between Magne of a 9.978 and the and Hamalainen of Greek 10.352. Is that great? Why would Magne try to hurt his own legs?
Well, the thing is you know, it's all very well the times, because that comes down to pure power, but in here it's tactics as well. That's the whole idea of sprinting. It's all cat and mouse. Look at it, the Greek rider's moved up. Now he's going to try to pin Magne to the fence. This is great, but he's left a bit of room. What's Magne going to do? Magne's going nice and high. He's trying to pick it up. He's got to come down on top of him now. Magne's got, oh, he's going up again. The Greek guy's keeping him up. We've got 250 metres to go. The Greek guy's still looking. He hasn't full on yet. The Magne's decided to go on the inside. He's really playing with him now, the Greek guy. He's got him in a great position. The Greek guy, oh, he's let him through. That's it, come down on him. That's the way. That's it.
They're both on the blue. They'll both get disqualified.
No. What happened is Magne tried to come through on the inside. It should go to the Greek rider. There was no room there for Magne. He should have backed off and come back round. The Greek guy should get that. Yeah, he's happy. I believe, yeah. There was no room for Magne, so Magne should get disqualified.
So he's ridden this one entirely wrong so far. The standstill, which with his speed he could have gone for it. Look, they're both riding down the Côte d'Azur, which is naughty, illegal totally. But we'll have to look at them further around in 200 metres, because at one time I thought that the Greek rider swung up above the red line, which allowed Magne to come down inside it, which he did do. Now, if that was so, the Greek rider came down then on the red onto Magne, then surely Magne can object.
No, the rules are once the rider hits the front rider hits the 200 metre line, if he's underneath the red, you've got to come over the top.
Watch, but he went out.
Well,
look, he's out. You see, now he comes down.
Well,
yeah. Magne, eh?
Well, it's a better view of it.
6 at one, half a dozen the other.
Yeah.
Eh? Well, they're calling up the next heat, and I have to wait for official confirmation of that one, but he did go outside the red and he cut down. So this is just the first round. Goodness knows, for him some great sprinting of this lot progresses.